hopefully everything's working fine. But yeah, so we just got off work and we had a conversation earlier today, and well, I'll let you talk about it. But hey, this is off the clock with Ben and Anthony, and yeah, I'm gonna let him vent for a while. He needs to decompress his back and his day. But yeah. So what's going on?
Well, honestly, you know,
You're good.
with what's been going
I just
on,
wanted it out of the way. It was in your face.
what's been going on is just I don't know. I've been having second thoughts about this job. I mean, it's a good job. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired of the semantics and everything we have to deal with, and the fact that sometimes you could be this was even before we got new people. I realized we just got a bunch of new people, especially in my group. But even before we
Yeah,
had,
mine blew up too, doubled, I think.
yeah, we got like I think two or three new people.
But you have to understand, we also lost a ton of people.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed we're next to each other on the spreadsheet now.
Oh yeah, I
Yep.
noticed that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I thought it was because maybe those people might.
I
be
thought
off,
that too, but then I started looking around, dude.
Uh,
There's a lot of people. So, and that'll dive into what I was. I'm sorry, I'm
Okay.
taking over. Sorry.
so yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, this job is good. I like the money.
You know what's funny? You can lay back. It does look fine, and you look chill as fuck. Does it feel comfortable?
Yeah, it feels
All
very
right, there you
comfortable.
go.
But anyway, you know, in terms of just the job in general, it's getting to the point to where we have to deal with a lot of unnecessary shit. Like I get when the coaches are busy, and we have a question we need answered and it takes a little bit. Fine. But like even before we got new people, even before this, it would still take forever. Even for you, you said you'd message in the chat.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting there like 5 or 10 minutes, lose the call.
Oh, I just give up. I'm like, fine,
Yeah.
I'll do what I think is best because no one has answered me. Yeah.
Right. And then it's like if you lose the call, sometimes you call them back, they don't even pick up, and then you lost the set.
I don't even let it go that far. I don't put people. You know my
Yeah,
rule about putting.
right.
I can't stand putting people on hold.
I hardly put anyone on
It
hold
makes me
anymore.
so awkward. It's like I feel so bad.
But anyway, besides the fact of just the semantics, it's just like, I hate those days whenever someone sends me, like, especially my coach. She'll send us a picture, a screenshot of like all of our same day, next day sets.
Remember, just keep it general.
Yeah. Okay. But
sure. Your numbers.
Yeah, our numbers, specifically the same day stuff. Next day stuff, which is fine. But she'll send it to us, and she only does it in the most awkward times, especially like today. She sent a picture of it and it was like all zero. And it's like, well, we just started. It's like the first hour, second hour, whatever. And so, I'm not expecting to make too many because I made my prediction or whatever. It's Sunday. And I was just like 6. Oh, wait, no. What did I guess? You
got 6.
I got 6. I guessed 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I guessed 4. I got 5. Yeah.
Well, and I also made 378 calls today too.
Yeah, I got 300 and I'm right below you, 371 or something.
You did not guess 371.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
There, really?
I looked, dude. I always check. I check every time. I look at my numbers. I put down because you have to put in the number what you guessed and then your actual. So when I looked at my actual, I saw your number and my number. Yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, I caught up.
Because you were at like 320 something, and then you got another one of those calls.
But I told you, man, I had 3 hours of just dial. And I was like, okay, no one's picking up. There were accounts where it had like 3 numbers on it a bunch of times. And I was like, okay, I can play with this.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, go back to your... Yeah.
So, that part is annoying because it's like, well, we can't help it when it comes to the scheduling. Because I've had it plenty of times where I'd be like, okay, Monday's available.
I know I broke 300. Now you're making me question, is it 327 or 372?
It's probably 327.
Maybe. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
But anyway, I'll be like, well, we can't help the fact that we can't get, either the same day or the next day appointment like they want. And it's like I could offer them both days, and they'd be like, "Well, it doesn't work. I'm going. I'm leaving this afternoon
Yeah.
for a vacation."
We have to do it
Right.
on Wednesday.
Right, or we have to
Yeah.
do it on Wednesday,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, okay, I understand, and it's just like before it was, oh well, go to a go to a completely different territory and do this and do that. I'm like, I do that. And then you tell me to call people who aren't home or who are not home for the appointment. I'll call them, and one day I called like 10 people. Right, I did exactly what my coach said. They all fucking just yelled at me and either said DNC or fuck off or whatever they say, and then hang up. Like, oh yeah, this worked out really great. And then it's just like she'll be like, oh well, you might be on you might be almost there for a PIP or whatever because of same day next days. And I'm like, what? Like, we can't control that. I can't just tell the customer, no, we need you today and tomorrow. If you want me to say that, I guarantee you we would lose all of our business. So on that front, it's just like, okay, shut the fuck up, please. And then, really besides that, I really have no other complaints. But at the same time, I've been really thinking lately, and it's just like, I don't want to be at this job for the rest of my life.
Well, of course not. It's
But, more and more as I've been going to the gym and, getting back into where I was before I had chronic knee pain and chronic back pain and I couldn't do it anymore. And then it just really upsets me that in college, like I had one more class left and then I've just decided not to do it because I didn't want to spend more money. And then I find out I can just get a certification and start doing what I want without even have to complete that class, which I'm okay with. But the problem is with the certification, that takes time, that takes, money and
why not just finish the one course you have left?
well, because I need the certification whether I have that degree or not. So it's like even if I finish the degree, it'd be like, okay, well, you want to start, you have to do the certification. It's like, oh, but I just went to college. Nope, certification. It doesn't matter. I could have, if I found that out within a year of being in college, because I had a different major, it was actually internet security. If I would have found out that I could have done personal training just by certification, I would have stopped going to college right after that first semester because I fucked up. That's why I had to change my major to stay in the first place. I would have just said, okay, whatever, I'll pay off what I have now, be done with that year, and just do the certification and be done.
That's why they booted me out of my major, is because first of all, I didn't belong in it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't happy, and yeah,
but also it's just like I don't hate the job. I mean, there are days where we're just like, okay, what the fuck? But that's with any job. It's better than what I've had, but at the same time, it's like I'm trying to get into the position mentally where I can handle more. Like I can do the certification after work, or I can do school after work, and it's just like I put myself in this position to where if I want to get a better job, if I want to do what I want to do, it's tough. I don't know if this is just because I think it's because I just moved out and I'm still figuring stuff out with finances and trying to figure out what I can and can't do. And
do you want me to move the camera? I mean, I'm just looking at a slouched belly, really. It's just, like, I don't even see your head because the way you're sitting, you look like Elmo. Not Elmo, what's the blue one? Was it Cookie Monster or?
Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to lay back.
I know, you can lay back. That's what I can move the camera. There you go.
Well, then move the camera.
Yes, master. There you go. You're good.
But, I've just been really thinking about what I want to do, and I know the work I need to do it, but it's just like, I don't know. Then if I, but then it begs the question, well, if let's say I become a personal trainer, do I have to drive to A, B, C, D, E, F, G all day to make money? How much money am I going to make? Like, I've looked up all that information and stuff prior, but when I looked into it, it was like, well, some gyms can take a fee from you just for training people there.
Yeah.
Or, you might be affiliated with that gym or that gym hired you, but they may not pay very much.
Or they can fire you whenever the hell they want.
All right. And so it's like, well, if I get a job to where I have to work at 3 different gyms, I better be making damn good money. But at the same time, it's like, well, that's more driving, that's more figuring out where I'm going, and with Uber driving and Lyft driving, that's going to be the majority of my check right there. It's not like it's a, a there and back ticket,
Yeah.
on a plane or a round trip. It's you pay this one fee or this amount, it'll get you there one way. Because of course, business model, if we do that, they're going to have to pay for a way back. So, and it's just like, I don't know, I can't believe I just went so many years without really thinking about it. I could have done the school while I was at home, but at the same time, I had to work, I had to pay rent at my mom's house when I could have been just saving in general. And now here I am, let's see, when did I graduate? Well, when did I stop college? It was 2018, I think. Somewhere around there. So it's, been almost 5 more years, about 5 years, that, I've been just out of school, and I feel like in those 5 years I could have gotten everything done I needed to do, and then would have been like, all right, time to start on your own with this new job, but that didn't happen. And then 5 years after college, or at least, or sometime in between there, I was thinking, well, what that's when I got my bike. It was a little after college. My stepdad mentioned that to me, and when we got those stimulus checks, I used that entire stimulus check except for the entire stimulus check and only $500 of my own money to get that bike. Yeah, but still, that's pretty expensive. Pretty expensive.
What did we get back?
It was like $1,200 for the stimulus check. That was $1,700. The bike that I have, and I can use that whenever, but it's like at the same time, it's not really an all season vehicle. Like you can't really take it out all the time. But that it's just, then I have to worry about transportation, and it's like, well, I would already be spending too much money on Uber and Lyfting anyway, because I remember during COVID, prices went up.
Yeah,
inflation was hitting us hard. I was paying like $25 for one way, and you know how close our shit is around here. It's only like a couple minutes.
It's 3-minute drive to the gas station, 3-minute drive home.
Well, from here
to my gas station, it's just 3 minutes. I'm just saying to give perspective.
Right, but I would have to go to Kroger near the Planet Fitness, which is a little bit farther away, but still, it's like you're gonna charge me $25 to go from like my house to the gym, or wherever I was going. And it got to the point where it was every ride. It didn't matter if you were going right down the fucking street. Let's say you were going to, I don't know, a different neighborhood, but they were like, maybe 5 miles away, something not that bad. It'd still be $20 to $25, $30. It would vary too on the time. Like if you left at this time, it might be cheap, and then let's say you leave a little bit later, it'd be like, all right, well, now instead of charging you $15 at 2 p.m., we're going to charge you 35 to whatever they want. And it's just like I have to deal with. I'll just have to deal with that unless I find another way to get around, which would have to be eventually driving. But I can't afford a car right now, and even if I could, I don't even know if I could even afford a car payment. With the loans I have to pay for, and have to deal with food and rent. Like as soon as I started paying rent, I was seeing it like it's in my face.
I spend $402 a month on my car payment, to give you an idea, and that's at 2017.
Okay. Yeah, that would. I mean, like I'm saving money every week, but that would be probably most of the money that I'd be saving every week. Like,
how do you think I feel? I mean, This is a real issue for me. Anyway, keep going.
But I thought, well, hey, if I do, if I just wait and wait, because
There's his pretty face. Oh,
the
there he goes. It's
yeah,
disappearing, everyone.
the problem is people, they just, like, I don't know. I tried to get help driving. I tried to go through all the, I took the class, I did the lessons, and then I ended up getting a wrong person who didn't know how to teach people who are on the spectrum, which apparently there are people who are, like, who can teach us. And so because of that, I learned, like, I still learned, but it wasn't the best, like
You know more than Zach does. I can
right.
tell you that already.
Yeah, well, because I have to, even on that bike.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, the only difference is I don't have protection, so it's like if I fuck up, I fuck up.
You're dead.
Yeah. Right.
Or if someone else fucks up.
Right, exactly. And so, it's just, well, if I don't get a car and just use that bike, I can only use that for so long before before I have to Uber and Lyft for the weather. And it's just like, I don't know. I want to be a personal trainer, but at the same time, it's like I felt like I could have been starting now, but I fucked up in life. This is where I'm at, and I'm finally waking up. I don't know if it's just because I'm 25 and I'm getting my head halfway out of my ass, or 3/4 of the way. I don't know how to judge where I'm at right now, but I mean, I think I've grown up even more just because I am 25. Like, I feel it. Like, I feel different. Like, I, not just physically, but like mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I love it, but at the same time, it's like I'm out now. I'm no longer at home, and it's just, to my brain, it's just like it's even more shocking than to like a normal person. It's just because it's amplified. Like, the way I can describe being on the spectrum, the majority of your senses, if not all of them, are amplified, especially with hearing, smells. That's why certain autistic people, like, if you play a certain sound, they're going to get annoyed, or if it's at a certain pitch, they're going to freak out on you because it bothers them. When I was younger, my siblings would hum and sing and do all this annoying shit while they're, making noise, and I'd be like, shut up, please, I can't handle, like, I just, please stop. And then my parents would be like, oh, let them do it, they're younger. And I'd have to remind my mom. I'd have to be like, Mom, you have a kid who's on the spectrum. I do not like that sound. Make them stop, please. It's bothering me. And then she'd be like, oh, just ignore it. And I'm like, telling an autistic person to ignore something.
It's like telling me to stop talking.
Right. Well,
okay, how about this? It's like telling me to stop empathizing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like I can't control the fact that sound is making me flip out on you. Like, it is. And it's amplified because of what, autism does to the brain. So it's like, yeah, we can gain more knowledge, we know more facts, we are intelligent, but at the same time, when it comes to social things, we lack. And because we lack,
you have triggers.
Yeah. And, it makes it weird when your other senses are just out, way too out there than a normal person. And so certain things set you off, and it's just like, I don't know. And on top of that, it's how we process things, like just how we process information in general. Like anything in life, I'm just like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Okay. What do I got to do? And it's like, it's stressful, even me just being like, oh crap, I gotta go grocery shopping. I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't get a break where, because I'm so used to not really doing much because I didn't have to. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I'm learning like, oh, hey, you need to go shopping every week. And it's like, oh, crap, I don't want to do that, but I have to. And it's like, it's just, I think what it is right now is it's just life is flashing before my eyes, and I'm sorting things out, and it's just like, it's
overwhelming.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. And then it's like I come to this job every day and I'm just thinking like, yeah, it's nice, living at home and working from home, but it's like I sacrifice so much for this job. You know what I mean?
Do you though?
I mean, for one thing, at most jobs, I'm never late, but even if I was a minute late, most jobs wouldn't.
This is a professional, real job.
Well, I understand that.
This is different than anything you've ever ever been to.
Right.
This is different than anything I've ever been to before.
Right. I'm not denying that it's different in any means. I'm just saying that.
Been to? Yeah. I went there. I went to the job and.
Right. I'm just saying for this specific job, it's just like it takes a lot out of me.
Okay.
Because even for multitasking, like people with autism have trouble multitasking sometimes.
But don't you think I suffer from that every fucking minute of every day with ADHD and constantly dissociating?
Well, yeah, people with ADHD as well can't really multitask.
So here, let me jump in, all right? Because we looped back around to work, which is a perfect segue. Go ahead and mute your mic. But back to, I'm just leaving it on the fucking room camera. I don't care. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, wait. I'll just get up. Yeah. Thanks for teaching me that we can lift these headpieces. I'm 6'3", and I thought, why the fuck is this thing down by my shoulders? I was like, this is so pointless, dude. And then you're like, oh, you can lift it? I was like, oh. Okay. Now, I want you to consider this. You're going to start by saying, well, don't say anything, actually. But you may not like what you hear at first, but then when I'm done, you'll be like, fuck, okay. I like it. First of all, I want to get some facts out of the air so you feel better. The reason your coach is being so hard on you is because you made it past the quarterly period of the year. I think it's the end of the fiscal year or it's the start. I don't fucking know. But they let a shit ton of people go. We stayed and survived. PIP free. And I think she wanted to make sure that your numbers looked good by March 15th. And, maybe there are things that she wants you to work on, but ask her for help. You know what I mean? Be specific with her. Like, once you communicate with them, then it's no longer on you. The minute you send them a message and it is saved in that chat, you asked for help. Now it's on them. So you got to do that for yourself to cover your own ass and because you want help. You know what I mean? They can't hear you, but I'm talking. I said, remember, let me talk. Let me finish this real quick. At least the work part section. So we survived that because I noticed a lot of people are missing. There's a lot of changes, and so now going back to, you said you're stressed, and you did use the word tired at one point. No, but I'm just saying in general, though, what you're still understanding, and it sounds like you have the right perspective, better than I thought you would. I was worried that it was less developed, but I really think you just see life isn't easy. Life doesn't give a shit that you got your bike back and you want to be a personal trainer. Like, life is going to fucking attack you every moment of every day because you're trying something. Now, if you don't try something, sure, life's going to be like, okay, complacency. But, dude, you're here because, do you think Bill Gates and all those people were, like, handed? Look at the people that were handed free, you know what I mean? Look at Paul, what are those Paul Logan or Logan Paul, whatever the fuck. All those YouTubers that made money and then you turned out to just be pieces of shit because they didn't even know how to use the money they got. You know what I mean? They got famous, they got money, and nothing. But the people that earned it, dude, they don't just fucking, look, you want to say like, oh, I don't like this job. Now, if it's true, if you really don't like this job, which, I don't know, maybe it's socially stressful for you. I've started to get over that entirely. Like I told you today, somehow today, I just realized I don't care if they're trying to pick fights with me anymore. I just kind of talk over it. But like, so if you're saying you don't like this job, then you really got to, first of all, you got to keep hard at it with the job you have because like you said, you're in a position where you're making great money. You're on your own. But if that's the case, if you truly are not happy with your job, if that's the real answer, it's not stress or like,
overwhelmingness or shit like that, that just takes time to settle itself. Then start researching what would be a good fit for you until you can move into, say, physical therapy or whatever, or fitness, sorry. Um, but I want to say this though, everything you're doing, you earned this because of the choices you made. So I guess the question is, are you really unhappy with the job? Or are you just unhappy with how there are individuals that are stressing you out? Go ahead. You can turn your mic on, dude.
I'm good.
It's probably both. I mean, like, yeah, I could look for another job, but I have to think like this has kind of been the best thing that has happened to me lately.
And yeah, that's what I said. I want you to think on
Right.
that one hard. Yeah.
Right, because it's
Do you
like
dislike the job, or are you really saying you're not happy with it? Are you just pissed at it right now? But anyway, that's something you can think about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I don't want you to jump to conclusions and be like, Anthony, fuck it, I'm going to Walmart.
Oh no, I can't. See, that's the thing. Like, an easiest job to get would be Walmart, Target,
Or
whatever.
going right back to your old job.
Oh,
They'd
no.
they'd take you right back. I'm saying they would, though. You'd be right.
Nah, not really.
Oh.
I didn't even give them.
Oh.
No, I technically didn't give them 2 weeks. I gave them like a week notice.
Hey, but they don't give us 2 weeks when they fire us, right?
Yep, yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But even then, it was just like I can't go back to Kroger. Even if I was
Sure,
in the
sure.
same position, it would just be like they make me do all the shit. I'd be the person doing everything. They'd be like, "Oh, well, you got to do this, this, and this," and then Michael's just sitting on his ass watching TV on his phone, while an old man is on by the register doing helping customers.
So let me ask you, just to, again, for
Yeah.
perspective. Were you happier at that job, or are you happier at this job? Keep everything in mind, stress included. Stress
Mhm.
included, because guess what? If you want to produce outcome in life, or results in life, dude. Let me ask you this again, and I say this in all honesty. I am a fucking happy person, but do you think it's easy all day, every day, to keep in bottled up feelings that not only am I feeling, I feel that you're feeling, and I feel that Simon's feeling, and I feel I should be broken down, back to the bottle, curled up in my closet, crying. But no, dude, because look at what I get at it. You need to look at the big picture. Because you're right. You're not going to live with this job forever. Neither will I. I'm going back to school. I haven't figured that out yet. You know what I mean? I have no idea. But I'm trying to still establish where I am now.
Right.
Maybe when I have like 10 grand in savings, then I'll be like, all right, dude, you know what? Time to make some big ass changes. But right now, I want to make sure that everything is solid. And it's terrifying. By the way,
right.
I am scared every fucking day of my life. Dude, I know I'm smiling all the time, but this is me in real life. Like, this is how I feel. All day. I'm just like, will this be the shoe that drops? Any moment.
Right.
Every time I see a chat pop up at work, or I get a phone call from a parent or something, it's just like, fuck, what now? What's going to happen now?
Exactly.
It's over. All this shit but here's the thing. I'm not giving up, and it hasn't changed. It only slightly gets better.
Right.
So I'm going to ask the same question. How are you really? I know overwhelming is probably the best, closest answer, but I just don't want you to lose an opportunity like this job because of a temporary feeling.
Right.
But
No,
anyway,
I understand. It's just it's just I'm trying to figure things out, and it's just like
he says you look stoned. Doctor Who design.
I'm just chilling.
He's tired. We just got off work, man.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I feel like I could be doing something different, but if I were to change this job, I would have to get another job that's work from home. But at the same time,
I feel like once you do it, I will never let that go. I mean, my God, dude, I love it.
It's.
I understand yours is for different reasons,
right?
But,
I mean, I'm getting used to it. Like, it's not that bad if a customer yells at me because sometimes I shut them down.
Yeah.
just ignore it. I'm like, okay, whatever. He was pissed or she was pissed or whatever. But it's just I feel like if I was doing something different, I'd be less overwhelmed, less tired. I'd be able to start my certification, and move from there. With this job, it's like, well, you could do it afterwards, but the way you're working, it's like, well, you have to have
Okay,
a slightly later shift.
Ben, hold up. First of all, our company works entirely. You don't have to turn off. Yeah, we fixed all that shit. I was just keeping mine off so that you knew I would shut up, but I need to intervene here. Our company works with people that want to go back to school, first of all. Secondly, I run, 3 podcasts and I live stream video games in the midst of the night. I have time to do all of that shit. And you're saying you don't have time to take a few courses once in a while? Come on, man. People do this. Now
Well,
you're getting to new... what you're saying is I have goals and I can't do it.
Well, I'm saying
you should be saying this is my next step. I'm going to establish myself now, and I know I want to do this next.
What I'm saying is mainly it's just the money.
But like so now you're trying to fast forward life. You know what I mean? You just said, "Oh, I finally kind of woke up." I just woke up too.
Right.
This didn't happen overnight. This took 7 years and sobriety.
Right.
And I'm saying, you just figured your shit out. Now you're starting to think about, what do I want to do next? That ain't going to fucking happen overnight.
Right.
I mean, again, proof. So it's one step at a time. And as far as work, dude, the best way to go about it is if you know, and you're the one that told me this, and when you put that in my head, I'm telling you, the rest of my day just went perfectly. But one time you said, well, you're doing everything that you're told and that you can do and more. So just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not fired. I'm not in trouble. I'm doing even... Right. So as long as my mind is thinking, dude, okay, they're bitching for some reason. Let them bitch. That's them, okay? I'm me. I'm going to do the best that I can. And you already do fucking great every week, so it's not like you're going anywhere or doing anything wrong.
Right.
So don't let it get in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's just because maybe the way my coach presented herself with her concerns.
She's abrasive. I will say that. Like, my dealings with her, yes.
Like, it was just like, okay, like they...
But that's her, let her be her.
Right.
She's still a good coach. She's just, that's her... well, actually, I don't know if she's a good coach.
I mean, she's a pretty good coach.
Okay. I feel like everyone I've worked with there, when you have their attention, that's the best way to put it.
Right.
When you have their attention, they are fucking fire. They're awesome.
Right.
But it's hard when they're so busy to get their attention.
Right. And it doesn't help with new people and they're helping them and all that stuff. But it's like, honestly, I'm shocked I've made it this far because, I mean, I guess I've known that call center jobs are
pretty fast paced, but this one really isn't, though. You know what I mean?
Well, not just fast paced, but also like their rehire rate is so frequent.
The turnover rate.
Or turnover rate.
Yeah.
And so it's like they could hire 20 people.
Mine was, what was it at Verizon? 60%.
Like here, they could hire a group of 20 people for training, or for whether they train them, and then maybe all of them make it through their basic training, and then they might leave in like a month or a week if they forget to say certain words.
When we were, so I didn't work for
Verizon directly. It was you don't have to turn it off. But when I worked for, because
now you can talk whenever you want. Again, I'm just turning mine off so that I don't interrupt you. But I don't work directly for Verizon corporate or anything. I worked for a call center called Continuum, and I think I had 20 or 22 people in our starting class, like our training class. And when we were all done, there were 3 of us that stayed till the end. But not to the end of training, after training, but they dropped like flies until there were just 3 of us. And
well,
yeah, that place was mismanaged, and
At,
And
at Kroger,
yeah.
believe it or not. Hold on. So believe it or not,
Sleep tight, doctor.
at at Kroger we had 4 people, like in my hiring class, including me. So there was, or no wait,
So I had the two.
okay, there was 6 of us.
I had the two. So I had 4. I had the brothers
Mm.
that disappeared. Right? Didn't they just like not make it for like? And there was a girl there with me, and then it was me. And then I don't know. Anyway, go on. Yeah.
So I had yeah, there was, let's see,
He
6.
says you need to drink
6
some
of
coffee.
I just got off work. Fuck off. Like literally, I'll be going to sleep at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
tonight.
we only have I only have 5-6 hours to stay up. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, there was 6 of us at Kroger in my hiring class. One person stopped showing up throughout like training, just like stopped coming. Then there was, let's see, 5 of us, or no, 4 of us. Okay, no, there was 5 of us. 5 of us. One person stopped showing up like halfway through the thing. Then there was 4 of us, and all we had to do was complete modules. So like, if you got 10 of them done, and let's say you only had 20 of them, yeah, or like let's say you got the majority of them done the first day. Let's say you only had 5 left. You could be done with training in 2 days and start working right away. Some people it took 3 days. Maybe they come in on the 4th day, do it for like 1 hour, they're done. But they'd only allow you to be paid and work online for like 3 hours at a time. But so what happened was the rest of us, the 4 of us, all passed our stuff and we're gonna go do our thing. Well, there was one guy who was a kid, like just straight up, just kid wanting to make money, still going to high school.
Typical kid.
High school kid. He would work part-time and then eventually he just quit. And then it was these 2 girls, these 2 black ladies and I. And the funny thing is, there was the first day I walked in there was someone who reeked of weed for training. Like just absolutely stunk up the entire upstairs
office.
office.
Didn't even try
right.
to cover.
And I walk up there, and actually this was back when I was wearing strictly dress shirts.
I thought you were gonna say a strip.
No, dress shirts, and I was still pretty fit at this time. And so like I had the dress shirt rolled up, up to here, and I just walk in there and like they're just looking at, like they were just they were shocked. But it was funny because I was getting close to this one girl, and then it turned out she's like a 35-year-old mom, and then on top of that she goes, well, I've got kids so I can't work on the weekends. But the job hired her and trained her and said she has to work weekends. So then she left, and then the other girl who was there, I guess she was caught at work high or smoking pot on the job or some shit. I don't know, something with weed. And she got let go. And I'm the only one that stayed and dealt with that well, I shouldn't say bullshit for a year and a half. And when I found this job, it was like, I'm less stressed. I can feel that. I'm less physically, it's not very physically demanding. That's why it is mentally demanding. Right, it's mentally demanding. It's exhausting mentally. But I find it odd how I only go to the gym twice a week. I barely really do anything physical besides, lift weights. I'm only going twice a week and I'm already getting results. Okay. I'm just saying it's fascinating to me because like, why? You're not overeating or anything. Well, yeah, I guess I've cut down on.
Think about the simplistic. It's happening because of what you're doing.
Right.
You're not overeating. In fact, I see what you eat. You have like 18 protein shakes a day and a breakfast sandwich.
If I was having 18 protein shakes a day, I'd have to buy like.
You would have no ability to shit. You'd have to take my entire bottle of fiber pills just to take a shit, and it would come out like a solid brick.
I'd say, usually what I do, excuse me, is I've noticed that like I might have 2 to 3 shakes a day.
Yeah.
But like there's some days I just have 2. The most time I have like a lot of protein is, usually the day after I work out. I get this extreme hunger where I wake up, because remember you said one day you saw me wake up and you're like, you look like you were 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah,
and then
he looked dead. He looks like a zombie.
And then I ate something, and then it was like, oh, I'm alive.
Dude,
But
I don't understand my cravings yet. So I obviously need protein because when I have a shake,
mhm.
it can make me feel full for a whole day of work. But there's
Oh.
still like literally even.
I'm still 2 to 3 hours.
Well, I'm not exerting any energy,
Right.
dude. I fucking
Well,
live at my computer.
I mean, what happens is to maintain muscle, your body's going to burn more calories because it's muscle mass. It's actually active tissue. That's why you burn calories constantly. So I've
Well,
noticed,
yeah.
but I'm saying
It's
I've
live
noticed.
tissue, yes.
I love how I finally put this stuff in practice because I know what I'm eating, I know what I'm doing, and it's working. And it just proves even more that I could teach this to other people. And so I think it's mainly just frustration because it's like I'm finally able to do this to where I can look good, and then help other people. But at the same time, it's like I want to do that. I know it could have,
In your grasp
yeah,
somewhere.
it could have been already here if college,
it's still unfeasible. Dude, okay,
if-
look at, you're literally telling me my life. I have learned how to clean up my act, so to
Right.
speak. And all I want to do is help people with mental health and, problems or questions about life in general, things they're struggling with. And you know what I get? I get about 2 people watching my podcast at a time, and no one asking questions, no one wanting anything. All I want to do is help, and everyone's sitting there acting like they're fine when we know everyone out there has issues.
right.
So I don't know if they're afraid to ask or whatever. I mean, Jesus Christ. All I want to do is share my knowledge of anything I can. Because all I do is spend time on my computer researching anything and everything that's remotely redundant to life or interesting to me. So
Right.
every day I'm learning something, many things new. I am literally building fucking libraries in my head, and no one even gives a shit that I want to give that to them.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I understand because I tried to help my mom out. Like I told her, I was like, look, I know you're going on a diet, but have you ever think of changing just your lifestyle, cutting down on the processed food?
That's actually what originally
Yeah.
helped me lose my weight. It's
Yeah.
not about diets.
Yeah,
You
and
need
actually,
to change everything, period, forever.
the funny thing is, diet implies that you're going
there's an ending.
that you're going to stop
Yep.
because that'd be like,
I've
okay,
been telling people that for decades.
for example, if let's say you only wanted to lose a few, like let's say 10 pounds to fit in your suit or tux for your wedding, right?
Sure, I'll be good on my wedding, but
right,
you know what? I'm gonna
right,
have that
every-
cheesecake afterward.
right. Everyone wants to do that, so they're gonna diet for 2 weeks or whatever,
And that's
lose that weight, and then go back. Yeah,
You
exactly.
bought a suit for no fucking reason.
And so people think, okay, I'm 300 pounds, I'm gonna diet. Yeah, good luck. You're gonna maybe lose a lot of weight at first, and then you're gonna get discouraged, and then you're gonna stop. And
You're
it's
gonna
like,
think something went wrong,
Right,
and you
right.
get discouraged.
Right,
That's the
and
perfect way to
so,
put it, actually, yeah.
there's a lot of people who get confused about, oh, well, am I really gaining muscle? I just, because some people think, oh, I've gained weight.
I still weigh the same.
Yeah, or
They'll say
no,
exactly,
they'll even say like, I've gained
or I've
weight.
gained weight. Sure,
Yeah, they'll be like,
sure.
I've gained 5 pounds. And I go, well, you've been lifting weights. Have your clothes been fitting better? Well, yeah, it's muscle mass. Some of it's muscle mass. Some of it might be water weight. Some of it still might be a little bit of fat. Because remember, I shot up to 186 when I first started taking those protein shakes. But I think once I've been lifting harder, and actually almost every time I go, I either improve or I feel like the next time I go, I'm going to go up in weight. And so because I put my body through that stress, it's like my body's like, oh, he does need these protein shakes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stop letting him gain unnecessary weight. We're going to, pump this to where it needs to go. And I think that's because remember, I weighed myself when I got here. I was 186.
Okay.
I weighed,
You're what, 182 now?
nope, 177 in 1 month.
Damn. I think the last time I checked was 2 days ago. I was 183.
But I
But
noticed
I'm up and down all the fucking
I
time.
noticed my clothes are either really tight or loose.
I'm just all flab, dude. I'm just
And
like a
so-
scrawny ghost.
So I know once I reached a certain weight, and I see more muscle mass, and I notice there's a hell of a lot less fat,
Look at the light.
Then it-
Oh, Jesus.
then it becomes a task of you consume more, but you're just wanting to build muscle. and so you'd have to consume more protein. You'd have to
Well, and
consume
that's
more.
what I told you too. I
Right.
was like, you realize now that you're able
Right.
to drive to the gym and shit, you're going to be spending a lot more money on food. And boom, what happened, dude? You flooded my fridge with like 4 gallons of milk. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to get other spaces for this shit. And that's actually the day where I was throwing all of Zach's shit out.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I need to reorganize this shit because yeah, dude, because you're gonna need to eat more. And it's good that you have the protein shakes to kind of hold you over for a while.
Right.
But I'm telling
But
you,
also,
my craving, I have
Yeah.
only 3 cravings. Well, 2. So I crave protein,
Mhm.
and then I have cravings for like burgers,
Now
like
here's-
red meat. Sorry, red
Here's what's
meat,
interesting. When I
and
tr-
ice cream. But
when
yeah,
I tried that ice cream,
you know,
I enjoyed it, but then I got like, my body was like, just, I didn't feel right after.
do you think it's because you? I don't know.
And I
'Cause
think,
you're kind of against
but-
your body's used to not having sugar like that, right?
well, no, I've been so used to having such high blood sugars and having all that crap happen to me that mentally I've completely cut myself off from sugar. I had
Okay.
to, because that was
Yeah.
that was part of easier maintenance, but it's still hard. So you have to, you could only go out and have like cake and shit every once in a while. But most diabetics will be like, "Oh, fuck you, I'm gonna have,"
So you
you know.
can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right. I mean, I like, even because what happened
That
was
so stupid.
my parents and my grandparents would my grandparents would bake me a cake for my birthday. I was like, oh, thank you, lovely. But at the same time, I'd be like, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to deal with what it's going to do to my blood sugar in an hour, And that was with lifting weights, and that was with trying to maintain. And so now that I've completely cut out of sugar, my body only craves carbs when it needs it, and just mainly needs protein.
This is the day that Ben found out that the cake was a lie. Okay, I'm done with cake jokes. That was it.
Wait, where's my? Oh, there we go. I couldn't see this, but anyway, so I think maybe my body's just like, it doesn't want processed sugar anymore. It's like it's had to deal with so much maintaining it.
Like I
and
said, I don't know what it is. It's just ice cream. It's just,
Right.
like, have you seen me eat other
But
fucking sugars?
I've never gotten sick like that eating
That's
ice cream.
weird. So just like you had a spoonful.
I had 2 spoonfuls, maybe two
But
and a
still,
half.
I'm
2.5.
saying not
Yeah.
a lot of ice
So
cream.
not even a full serving either.
Yeah.
And so just like
Because
after
I don't even eat full servings. I just kind of scrape the top and
like
that's-
after I
oh,
ate
it's
it,
good.
it was weird. After like it was good. Like I was like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
good. And then like a half an hour to an hour later, I'm laying there in bed and I'm just like,
What did you
like,
feel?
I started tasting like I had too much sugar in my mouth. It was a weird feeling.
Kind of like garlic.
And
you know,
then-
like what garlic does.
Yeah, and then I had,
or even salt.
and then I just had this like icky feeling down from my mouth all the way down to my stomach. I didn't throw up or anything. It wasn't
But
like I
did
was.
you feel nauseous or?
It was just I felt like ugh. It was just like
I felt. Oh, I've never
like,
seen you make that expression before.
I felt like my body consumed something that was just like no,
that was wrong.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
And
Huh.
but then it's like me, I would rather have enjoyment. Like for me, I'd rather eat a whole fucking bag of Doritos. I wouldn't eat the whole thing. I'd probably eat a good half of it, maybe.
Oh,
But,
bullshit! I've seen you go to town on Doritos.
In those small ass
Yeah,
bags.
just small bags.
I'm talking about like the family size.
Yeah.
But
Dude, even Zach would just take
Right.
giant ass
And-
bags into his bedroom and devour them.
right. Even I know that has way too much fat and way too much bad shit for
I
you.
don't even buy that shit anymore.
But,
I can't do that. I don't
Right.
do snacks.
But-
Snacks don't satisfy my stomach.
But if I did eat chips again, I would still eat a smaller portion. But I would enjoy that more, and my body would be like, "Oh, you have carbs. We need these. You need to wake up." Because there's some days I will just have a protein shake and wake up and be like, "I'm not even alert for work," and then I eat some carbs. And I'm like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that's weird because for me,
But it makes sense. My body's using the protein to maintain and build. It's not using it for energy.
So I guess, because again, I ask, like, other than the breakfast sandwiches and the burgers, I don't eat carbs. I don't eat carbs.
Buns.
Yeah, exactly.
The buns are carbs.
That's it. That's
but
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
so
That's it. So what I'm saying is, I didn't do this intentionally. I'm listening. Remember when I said I just listen to what my body likes, just like what you said. Like your body was just like, wow, no, that was wrong.
Yeah.
So I have no interest at all in French fries or what the fuck else? You know, any bread. You know what I mean? Like as
Right.
much as I loved pound cake. Oh god, pound cake
But
or lemon
that's what I
cake
hated
or-
because my doctor would always be like, "Well, you can still order a burger at the restaurant. You just
But it's
can't."
all sugar, is
No,
what
hold
I'm
on.
saying.
Right,
yeah.
but she'd be like, "You just can't get a bun," and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? That's a
Yeah.
burger. It's a sandwich."
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and, well, you can order a lettuce wrap. I don't do lettuce. I don't even have
Yeah,
lettuce
that's
on
right.
my
So I
burger.
even said that to you one time. I was
Yeah.
like, lettuce wraps are actually pretty
Nope.
cool. But you're like, oh, I don't do lettuce. I was
No.
like, wow,
I want-
never heard anyone say that before.
I want
it's
my-
just like
yeah.
water crunchiness.
I want my patty. I want my cheese. I want my sauces. I want everything else except for tomato
No,
and
yeah.
and lettuce. I can't do it. And I hate whenever like they, especially the shredded lettuce, like the
You don't like that, dude? I love it.
no, like sometimes when it comes with the
Well,
burger
that
and you say
flies everywhere. I don't
right,
like that.
but when it comes with the burger and you say I just don't want lettuce, everything else sounds good, but I just don't want the
No
lettuce.
lettuce.
And then they'll even have a little bit on there. And let's say I don't notice even, I'll bite into it and be like, oh, what was that? It's like I just want everything else but the lettuce because I feel like it ruins it. Like,
Why do you not? But it really? Why?
Yeah,
But even
it's-
the fresh crispiness.
yeah,
like,
it's the texture. It's the texture, and sometimes it's too moist, and it's like your burger's already moist from the grease from the
What
patty.
if you got like? What if I hypothetically? What if
Mhm.
I grew fresh lettuce, cleaned it, and it was just still crispy, not wet now because I dried it, and it still snaps, but it's big enough. I just put one leaf on your burger.
It's the texture. I mean, it's just yeah. My body's just like no, this doesn't taste right with it
Huh. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
because
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
I'm
and also
the same way with tomatoes and others. Like
and when you
deli
think
sa-
about it, a burger's
that's the
are
other thing I don't eat
a
anymore, deli
burger for
sandwiches.
like when you eat a burger, it's already too bad. Like it's
a
already
lot.
bad for you.
It's
so
a
it's
lot.
like-
There's
right.
a lot going on
So
already.
by just adding a little piece of lettuce and tomato, your health factor doesn't really go up very much.
No, it's not the health factor.
Well, you know,
it's
but you know,
flavor. But
right.
if you don't like it, then you don't like it.
But right, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like it all has water in it, and so it's like, yeah, I get some people get it because they want to be like a little bit more hydrated. No, people have said this. I'm like, what? How are you gonna get hydrated off of a piece of
Yeah.
tomato and lettuce? But anyway, they're like, well, you
All
know,
they're gonna do is make their food soggy.
right.
Yeah.
And so it's like they're like, oh, well, I want to stay hydrated, and this has water.
So
on
drink
it.
water when you're done eating,
Right.
you dumb bitch.
But then most of these people are sitting there with a beer or like they got
Oh my
or they have like a
God, yeah.
Coke, and it's like
We had a really awesome. It is an amazing
now
restaurant.
you know. Don't
in
get me
California
wrong.
Called Burgers and Brew.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I would always have a beer with my burger. I loved it because it was just like, I think maybe it gave me an
I can't
excuse.
even think about beer
I
anymore.
I think when I was 21, yeah, it gave me an excuse to drink, and plus it tasted good. It tasted better.
I used to like it. I can't. I
Problem
just
was,
can't even think about beer anymore.
I
Or
was-
wine.
I drank 6 beers in technically 1 hour with a burger and no, it's chicken wings and fries. That was it. And I had 6 beers in 1 hour. And what was because these jackasses who were sitting by the bar, they look over, they're like old men. They see us walk in, we're young, we're 21, and they're just like, and they were actually talking about us because John heard this too. They're like, oh, those people don't look like they could drink much. He's probably just gonna have 1 beer. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I ended up drinking 6 of them because I wasn't getting drunk. Like I wanted to get buzzed at least. I didn't even feel that. And so I ended up having 6 of them with my burger, and they just all looked at us and they're like, and then the waitress comes over and she goes, so where do you hide it all? And I just go, right here. But you know, it's wait, where was I going with this restaurant story?
I have no idea. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about. Are you feeling a little better?
Yeah, I am.
That's all I wanted. It bothered me all day.
Right.
So while you're suffering with your issues, I get to suffer with your issues too, while I'm dealing with my own.
But see the
I
way
just wanted you to breathe, man, because I think
Yeah.
you're just overwhelmed.
because I try to have relief by going to the gym, but when I go sometimes, like okay, I get there at 4:30, 4:45
It's the
with
drunkest I've ever been. I'll
with,
answer that in a second. Go
I
ahead.
got there about like 4:30, 4:45 with Finn because he wanted to go work out. Well, he wanted to stop at a convenience store before he came by, and we went to the gym. I was like, okay, you can get drinks there. You can just come over. Anyway, he stopped over. Didn't get here till 4:30. Then we left. Got there at 4:45. The gym's already packed, and I'm like, okay, fine.
I'm not telling that story.
I'll just do something else. Wait for the bench to open. But I want to do bench first because the first muscle group you work out gets the majority of your energy that you're using because you're not tired from working out yet, and also you just get more muscle development. So, I always like to do chest first. I like to do chest, and then I go into arms, and then back, and then do more biceps and
So how do you work
triceps.
out that tight ass of yours?
I'm surprised you said tight ass, but I mean it's.
I don't know what your ass looks like. I'm sorry. I don't know. Do people like? Did you see that video on? Well, you don't go on Reddit, but I'm sure it was on. You go on Facebook all the time.
Mhm.
There's that video of this girl. I'll put it this way, Andy or Andrew. I was so drunk that I incredibly embarrassed myself. I'll never forget it, and it didn't even make a difference. I still kept doing
Oh,
what I was
yeah,
doing.
I know exactly where I was
But-
going with that restaurant story.
No, I was gonna
Yeah.
say this girl put. It's some influencer. You gotta live anyone who puts influencer as their fucking job description or title. But she's getting ready. Someone was filming her, and she's getting ready to like take pictures for working out and shit like that.
Oh gosh.
And then they put inserts in her fucking pants to make her ass look perky. And it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
I've
yeah,
seen
man.
those. No, I've seen. Yeah, and they also have them pose a certain way.
Yeah,
And if you
Yeah.
if you move your leg to a certain position, it makes your butt look bigger. All this shit.
yeah, it's a joke.
Right.
It's a fucking joke.
And so they make a mockery of people who work hard and achieve that naturally, and then people think, oh, he's on steroids. She's or she's on steroids. Well, with a girl you can tell, but for a guy,
yeah.
yeah. But
They got
for
muscles where there shouldn't have muscles.
but for a guy who puts
and
all
they have
that
penises.
a guy who puts all that work into it and has to eat a shit ton to maintain that, because you can be as built as big as a bodybuilder and compete, but to do it naturally you'd have to eat all the time. You wouldn't be taking steroids where it's like they could have,
You'd be eating like the Flash.
because people on steroids, they could have a bag of Doritos and a shot of 10 cc's of testosterone or steroids, and that's all they eat, and they're like they're huge. But so what I was going with the restaurant story is with the 6 beers and the burger. Yeah, that's clearly not good for you. I've completely changed to where when I do go out to a burger, yeah, I'll have 1 beer, maybe 2. I can have more. I know I can. But I'm just like, I keep myself limited, and sometimes I don't even go and drink. Like, I'll just have the burger. But it's like, for some reason, now it's like whenever I go out and have a burger, I have to have at least a beer. And I know you can say all day long, no, you don't have to order that. And I say, I know that. But my body's like, you're having a burger? Why not a beer? You enjoyed this, you earn it, I guess, because the majority
I've
of.
never had habits like that before.
I
Even
think-
as an alcoholic, I've never had habits like that before.
I think it's because maybe I'm.
When I see people fucking smoke a cigarette on TV, I need a cig. It's funny. I'm still stuck in that midpoint where I can't stand it when I'm smoking it. Like I get a few drags, I'm like, oh, thank you. But then I'm like, okay, goodbye. But like every time, like clockwork, if someone lights up on TV show, I'm like, oh shit, you dick.
But also I've noticed like we've said, alcohol is bad for you, especially when you're trying to build muscle. It'll just completely derail you from where you
Oh, totally.
from your progress, especially if you drink a lot, because then you're putting on more weight. But anyway, I think because I know that, I've cut back on alcohol. Like I don't even drink anymore. Like I said, I probably have a beer or 2 when I go out for a burger. And what was funny was I got really, really buzzed, probably even a little bit drunk for like a little bit. When I mean a little bit, like maybe a half hour. But I had 2 beers, and I was like, I felt like I was on cloud 10 talking to John. It was weird. I've never felt this with 2 beers. And then after that, it was like, okay, I'm sober. And it was just like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you could drink more, but I was like, nope, I'm done. But 2 beers, I've never done that to me before, ever. but at the same time, I stay away from it because my goal is fitness, so I have to make those sacrifices.
So let me just remind you, because I brought this up. I think it was yesterday, or not yet. Yeah, yesterday on the podcast. Maybe whenever, I don't know. Time's starting to blend in. That's what happens when you stay busy, though. Too is you kept like this. This is when you said you were tired. It was like early on in the podcast, like many episodes ago, and you even said it. You were like, I don't know. It's probably because I assumed, my days off, I just could finally have a day off. But I guess, this is what life is. And here's the fact, dude. On my days off, I am nonstop working on something. Not because I have to. I want to. If you want to do something and get it done, you got to sacrifice that fucking free time to be productive. I mean, I have no problem fucking chilling and fishing and watching my TV shows, but it's like I have.
Well, I've done that.
I've
done that before, where I had to not just relax, but
it's to me. I've changed my perception of it as you need to accept it as it's always going to be true if you want to move forward in life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's it's
you've
obvious.
made the jump from child to adult, so to speak.
Right. It's a big jump. It's only been a month, but it's like, I don't know. Your mind's just like, do this, and you're like, I just fucking moved out. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Honestly, I'm taking it day by day.
If, like I said, this is why we're here. If you ever need help, I am one door away from you, and I've dealt with all of this.
But it's like,
surprisingly, I do know some things.
For me, it's just like, it's the schedule that helps, because it's like, okay, I know certain days after work.
You are very fixated on time, so am I.
You're obsessed with it. I know,
but that's how my dad built me.
I found a window in time from 4 to 4:45, where if I can get to the gym before then, I can get that bench prime time, and I've been right every time.
So you're good at your patterns and shit.
Yeah, there was one time where I literally got there at 4:45. I was like, it's not gonna matter today. There's no one here. I walk in, busy as fuck. I'm like, are you shitting me? I could have left 15 minutes earlier.
Bench World, bro.
And been here, on time and whatever. But it's just like, yeah, I like to manage my time, because then it's like, well, I know I have time to relax, because I need those breaks within the day. Like sometimes if I have a terrible week at work and it's my last day off on Saturday, I ain't doing shit. The most I did was I went to the gym, even though I didn't want to, maybe, and I did my thing that I need to do, and now I'm just, gonna chill out. But right now, I mean, I'm honestly just enjoying the freedom, so that's why I have my friends come over a lot on my days off, because right now I'm just getting used to being moved out on my own. And so it's nice to see friends and catch up with them, and talk to them, because it's like, that's why Finn and I hang out all the time. Because John, I try to text him. He's like, well, I'm working. I got to get up early in the morning. And it's like, dude, I get it.
Dude,
you work.
Just totally dissociated. Did you just see what I just did?
Yeah.
Were you watching my face?
Yeah.
Wait, so show them what I just did. I was gone, by the way. I was not looking at you.
You were like, went like this.
So I just totally, this is me throughout work all the time. I just dissociate. I go into a completely different, you just saw it, by the way. But I was just like thinking about what you're talking about and thinking about what Andrew asked me. And then my brain just went into my past. Like I was going throughout my own history. And then I was like, oh, he's talking to me.
So
I was gone, dude. Sorry.
I was saying, like, the reason why I invite friends over on my days off is because right now I'm trying to have fun. Like, I just, like, on my days off, I'm just like, all right, do I really have anything to do? No, I got my shopping done. I got my protein powder. I got this. I got that. I'm good. All right, I'm going to hang out. Or I'll watch TV, or whatever.
And I hope the podcast doesn't, because it's only 2 hours. I usually try for 2 hours.
It usually doesn't, but I will let you know that when it does, like, if we say we're going to start at 6:30, that's like, we need to be ready, because at that point,
I was ready. I was here.
Because at that point,
and he thought he didn't know about the time
when
change.
We get to like 8 o'clock, 8:30, I'm just like, okay, I've got work.
And that's why I was on his ass. Dude, I was talking to him hours before you and I were out here. I know about time management. So
And
I'm
so-
bothered, but it's like there's nothing we can do. He didn't know
Right.
the time change, whatever.
which
So
is
you work
fine.
with
But
change.
I'm saying next time if we do it at like 6 or 6:30, it's just like
Yeah,
we
well,
have
and that's
to.
when we have to do it. So now he
Right.
knows we have to be ready. Because I wanted him on here at 6,
Right.
and then I could be done with shit. You be out here at 6:30. We start.
Right.
But yeah, life happens, dude. That's
right.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
It was his first day technically, I guess. But that's
Still unpaid intern. I
Right.
gotta figure out how to pay him.
But he did a good job, and it's
Oh, you're
just.
great. I was watching the camera movement. All
But
the
it's just
time,
like
yeah.
if we could get a schedule down, because then during the day I'm awake, because as soon as I wake up I'm like, okay, I ate, I've digested. What do I want to do today? Like I'm gonna guarantee you during the summer I'm gonna go on my bike, be gone for 4 or 5 hours, come back, I'm gonna rest, and then I'm gonna be tired, and I'll probably want to do the podcast, or we'll do it. But then you're gonna notice I'm gonna be drained because I've been driving for 5 hours, shit like that. So it's like I need to know when, and if it gets
Yeah.
post,
Definitely.
if it goes past a certain point, that just like fucks up my time relaxing, because then I'm still awake when I'm supposed to have my timer that goes off for bed. Because what I do is it's easier for my brain to see how many hours and minutes I have left than having to look at my phone and be like, okay, it's like it's 7:45, right? So let's say round up. Okay, it's 8 p.m. right now.
Oh,
Okay, now I got 4 hours and 15
that is
minutes.
very
You know,
compulsive.
but if I just look at my phone and have a timer, it's 7:44. I have 5.5 hours because I'm going to bed at 1:15. So I know, okay, what can I do in that 5.5 hours? Well,
Dude, I just ate and I'm already burping. My metabolism is spiked.
Yeah, like
Ever since I lost weight, my metabolism went so high.
I just had a breakfast sandwich, dude. I'm probably
That
gonna.
means I'm gonna have to take a shit in a couple hours.
I just had a breakfast sandwich. I'm probably going to have one more protein shake close to like 8 or 9. No, maybe 9:30, or maybe a little bit later. I don't know. Just I try to keep it 3 hours before I go to bed. Because protein takes a while to break down. But I need to have something before I go to bed, because when I sleep for 8 hours, my body's starving. It's already burning more calories, because you already burn a lot of calories when you're sleeping anyway. Well, I guess not a lot. Not a lot.
But you're still burning calories.
Right. But that still has a metabolic effect on all my muscle and everything. And so it's like, to maintain that, that's why sometimes as soon as I wake up, especially the day after I just worked out and it's still repairing, I'm like, oh shit, I need to eat. Like my brain's so foggy, I literally have to drink half my protein shake before I'm like, oh, hi, Anthony, I'm alive.
I always make mine. So, I wake up like 2 hours before work. So when I wake up, if I have, because you can tell if you're going to be hungry. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not hungry yet, but you can tell it's going to happen. Your stomach's going to start bitching at you. So I'll make my shake, because you made fun of me once, but I like to let it melt. So I make my shake right when I wake up,
Mhm.
and then I just let it sit till work, and then it's like when I'm working, my stomach's finally like, excuse me, you need to drink something or eat something. I'm like, all right, dude, don't worry, I got you. And it tastes like strawberry.
I mean, what I've noticed is if I'm hungry, I'll have to have a protein shake with something else.
Yeah, see, I'm
And
okay
then
with-
when I'm not hungry,
but-
I'll just have a
Yeah.
protein shake and coffee.
uh,
But if I'm hungry, I'll have to have.
but you're active.
Yeah.
I'm not. I guess it makes
But
perfect sense.
it's weird,
Yeah,
because then it's
yeah.
like when I am hungry, I'll have to have coffee, protein shake, something to eat when I am hungry for the morning. But here's the thing: on my days off, I don't drink coffee hardly. I just wake up because I have more time to wake myself up.
I've never needed coffee. I used to enjoy
But
it, but
It keeps me
when
productive.
I'm
Like
up,
it,
I'm up.
it jumpstarts me for the day. It adds to the mushrooms that I take. It really does, and it just keeps me more focused.
It's
Because
funny because Doctor Who Design used a mushroom emoji when he said that you looked stoned.
Mm.
But you should probably specify and stop
Yeah.
calling them mushrooms and
They're-
say lion. What's it called?
lion's mane. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're mushrooms that actually affect your brain cell
It's
development
lion's mane.
and
Look it
growth.
up.
Yeah.
We talked about it on a previous podcast.
It basically we've even looked this up where it says it has the ability to regrow brain cells
I'm still, yeah, that's right. You showed me that, and I
Yeah.
was baffled by that. That was one of our first podcasts,
Right.
and you looked it up for me on the podcast. We put it on the fucking screen, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. And it's really rare to find something that does that because
Well, when I
you
was
really
in high
can't.
school, we were taught that's impossible. But
Right,
then again, they were just
right.
probably trying to make us not smoke weed. I'm just saying, I grew up believing that it's impossible to regrow brain cells. That is what we were taught.
Right. I mean, also it could be just new technology, but also at the same time, they're like, they will
Well,
still say we can't do it.
Marigold. Lion's mane is a fucking fungus, dude. It's not
Right.
technology.
Well, right, but I mean,
Marigold. What is marigold?
Yeah.
A flower. That's a flower.
so I guess our advancements in nature, like we have stuff that grows that helps with inflammation, that helps with issues that we're dealing with right now. The problem is we're supposed to be eating that stuff like on the daily. Like we have vegetables and fungus here that are compatible with us. That's why we share the majority of our DNA with plants on this earth. It's only a small percentage of DNA that makes you human, and then it's an even smaller percentage that makes you different from me. So that's why they say like humans share DNA with like bananas and like certain fruits.
A banana.
But it's not enough to be like, okay, I'm
Did you not ever see that? My spoon's too big.
It's not enough to be like I'm just a banana man, It's but so that fungus and stuff that I can.
I'm just a banana man.
The lion's mane that I consume daily, you're really supposed to have that in your diet if you think about it, because it's naturally occurring, and you can eat mushrooms and you can eat.
I feel like you're
vegetables.
You're confusing. It needs to be or should be in your diet with it works for you.
I mean, yeah, but also I let you
It's
try
not like
some.
humans were born to they're like, yes, this was made for us.
I mean,
then again, we did have an interesting conversation as to why the fuck are plants creating products that are clearly designed to taste good and be made for eating. So yeah. I mean, obviously the fungus exists for a reason. Maybe it happens to work with our physiology.
Yeah.
Obviously it does. But it is interesting that the earth was like, all right, not only am I now existing and started creating life and all that good shit, here's a bunch of plants that these animals can, because it started somewhere, right?
Right.
It started with plants, and then animals must have came. And at first, they were probably munching on the vegetables until one came along and they were like, I wonder what my own kind tastes like. And boom, first predator. And then all of a sudden, you got predators, you got prey, you got vegetables, you got fruits, and now everything's eating everything. I think I had a quarter when I was little.
I swallowed a bouncy ball.
You swallowed a bouncy ball.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
I got away with that because
How's it going, Seth?
I mean, hey, it's round. I guess it's smooth, so it should fall out. But I guess I digested it, and
I feel like that's so terrifying because it's so easy.
Oh
to
gosh,
choke
what
up.
if
rubber? Think about it. Rubber is not a frictionless surface.
What if
it could get stuck? Like if you put water on rubber,
Right.
it's gonna jam.
What if the chemicals in the bouncy ball from a long time ago stayed in my system and made me diabetic?
What if you have super bouncy butt now?
Oh gosh.
It's just stuck up in there somewhere, and if you ever fell on your ass, we could test it. I could push you off the railing. You could bounce right back up.
No, I wouldn't. I'd probably go.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
I'd probably go through your floor.
All right, Hulk. Oh God.
Your mom walks in. Why is there a human-shaped
There's a
dent?
shaped hole in my floor. Yes.
I stand up,
yes,
and
there is.
as soon as I stand up, my back just goes I'm just like, okay, I think I'm good.
Dude, I think I'm ready to go fishing.
Yeah, I'm ready to finish my
I'm tired.
my
I'm
third.
I'm exhausted. Like I want to sleep eventually, but I can't. I'm not allowed to sleep till 1 a.m.
So I'm rewatching the Hobbit movies, and I got the Battle of Five Armies left, and that's like the best one out of the three.
Which part is that?
That's part 3, where
So Smaug is still alive.
Nope, small. Well,
Yeah, right. He flies out and goes to the. I only watched him all
Yeah,
once,
so
and I was wasted.
he's still alive for a little bit.
For like the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie, he swoops down and blows up their like fucks with that town or village.
Right. But they, you know,
and then he's nothing. He's dead.
Right.
And he's in the water, right?
Right.
They shoot him down or some shit.
well, no, they shoot him down.
Yeah.
He's dead, and then you know it's where they all
And then
fight.
the
They start
movie,
fighting each other. Yeah.
Then the movie actually starts.
But yeah, because I already rewatched the Lord of the Ring movies, so I'm rewatching the Hobbit movies.
Nice.
Even though really what you're supposed to do is watch the Hobbit movies first and then
Of
watch the Lord
course.
of the Rings.
You know what they need to do next? I mean, they already have the Hobbit. They already have the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
They should do one on.
The Silmarillion. Did
They-
you ever read the Silmarillion? It's a book of short stories written by what's his name again? J.R.R. Tolkien or some
Mhm.
shit. Tolkien.
Tolkien.
The token Tolkien. But no, it was super fucking good, and it's all these short stories that take place in not the Shire. What's the whole planet called? Is it the Shire? No,
Well,
that's where the hobbits live.
Yeah, that's where the Hobbit lives.
What's the whole
Middle
fucking-
Earth.
Middle Earth. There we go. So it's all these like awesome, really well written stories that just take place in the universe while all that other shit's going on. Yeah.
They should really do one about like Gandalf and all the other wizards because like there's
That'd be cool.
there's background between Gandalf and
Is
Saruman.
he dead? Is the writer dead?
Uh,
I have no clue.
I don't know,
honestly.
but you know there's hidden background between Saruman and Gandalf and
Oh, duh. There's
and
like
that-
an order of wizards.
well
I
yeah
think,
because
isn't there?
all
Yeah.
all the main characters in the Lord of the Ring movies like the lady of the lake she's a powerful witch or wizard.
Elf.
Well
What?
yeah powerful elf but she's basically like a witch elf.
Mm.
And so,
oh, that's right. That bitch
Right.
goes crazy at one point.
Right, because she's because even in the Hobbit, like she's there
Yeah,
in a
she's
meeting.
in the Hobbit, and so's
So there's
Matrix
Gandalf,
dude, isn't
Saruman, the Lady of the Lake. Then you have he has a weird funky name. It's like Sabergast or Flabbergast or
Are you
something.
talking about wasn't there a dwarf that was
Yeah,
also
Right, he was like real short, and he was like called like Flabbergast or Sabergast, the brown.
No.
No, it was something Gast.
fucking
It was something Gast the brown,
All right.
and he was like in touch with nature, and like animals would climb all
Gaseous
over him.
Brownius?
No, it was like Flabbergast or something like that.
Strichius Maximus.
Oh my god!
All right.
But
anyway, the dwarf. I
yeah.
remember the dwarf. Yeah, because I remember he was
Yeah.
in both movies, right?
it was like
Or
Abergast.
stories.
It was like Abergast, Sabergast, or
Whatever. I'm
yeah.
gonna fuck get to the point.
But
who cares about his name?
he was in touch with nature, but then at the same time, we don't know much about him
Oh,
because
okay.
he is kind of goofy.
I do
too.
remember what you're talking about.
But he has like those fucking jackrabbits or those or no what are they called Razabel rabbits because those can outrun dwarfs and they're like attack tigers that they have or whatever.
Fuck, I don't remember that. To be honest.
But he goes these are whatever rabbits and because Gandalf was like, well, you're running away from an orc pack, they're gonna kill you. He's like, these are Razabel rabbits. These are the fastest things out there. And then he's on a sled with like 10 of them pulling him. And he's just like, it looks like he's in like a modern car. Like he's going as fast as a modern car. You have the orcs back here and he just goes, and they catch up to him and he goes, and you're just like, oh, okay. Because he was distracting them while they were, running
the
from him.
problem is,
But-
I just watched those movies, but I was still not sober, so I don't have interest in rewatching them yet. But I
Okay.
totally, at some point, will rewatch all the I will do it from
Because then,
Hobbit. I always do things chronologically.
Because
so I
I-
would watch the Hobbit first, and then the Lord of the
because I bet you Sauron might have been a wizard in their order, but he was a
Well, so
more dark because
I think no, because Sauron was. I look at Sauron like a pathetic version of Palpatine. He was a grand ass white wizard. Like I think that is like the top, right?
right.
And then turns out, haha, double agent. I work or just spy, whatever. Who fucking cares? Double agent. And then like Gandalf the Grey, he's a lesser order. I mean, just by the color, I would assume that means he's not. Because then when he fell and died or was about to die, they were like, "Sorry, dude, we're not letting you die yet." And in
Right.
fact, they not only brought him back,
They
were
made
like,
him a white wizard.
here you go. Here's the white wizard fucking juice, all right?
Right.
So, like, I think, yeah, Saruman must have been, like, this high order motherfucker with some serious, like, ties and like, strings, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then that's how he was so easily being able to play people.
Well, not only
Palpatine, man.
right, but also you could tell even in the Hobbit movies when they're talking, he's obviously hiding things. Even the lady at the lake can tell.
I remember that.
Yeah, because she's like telling Gandalf,
but they
like,
knew the audience already knew that he was manipulative, so they
Right.
used that in the
yeah.
Mhm.
But if they had like a wizard series where they brought them all together, explain their history, then
Like, at younger years,
yeah.
so they could choose new cast
Right.
and like.
because then you could like watch
Yeah.
them as wizards. You could do Sauron and have him involved a little bit because he's not
Because
a
I don't know shit
well,
about.
he's-
I really don't
he's-
know much
he's-
about Sauron.
he's not a spirit yet. He's physical body, just in armor. It's when he dies, the ring keeps him alive.
What was he though? Like, who was he? Was he just corrupted by the ring?
Well, actually, from the Hobbit movies, no, he
Didn't
was
they
no,
show-
he made the ring. It doesn't corrupt him.
Oh.
He's
Didn't the TV show flop? By the way, I didn't even start it because
yeah, it was-
I
I
think
didn't-
it got canceled.
I didn't like the TV show. It was
People
not.
were shitting all over. I didn't read any reviews. I know nothing about it, but I just saw that it was canceled and it flopped, and I was like, "Well, that sucks."
So I think he might be a dark wizard because that would make sense because
Sure.
because then he would have the ability to make that ring, and then he makes other rings to do other shit. But that main ring, it's supposed it affects people badly because they're not the master. So it's like if you wear it, you turn invisible. But since he's a spirit and he's connected to it, he can find you. But then even when he was dead for a while and didn't come back as a dark spirit, you could put it on, turn invisible, and be in the shadow realm. So I think with him, it probably just gave him access to the shadow realm. He is a dark wizard, so he could turn invisible.
Or go to the shadow.
Oh yeah, or go to the shadow realm.
That's
Right.
the invisible. He's leaving
Right.
us. And,
Right.
Like, he can see us, but he's in a different plane.
Right. And so, but for other people, sometimes it would like make them sick. Like that's what turned Gollum from a hobbit to Golem. He was
Yeah.
originally a hobbit and he got real sick and then
Yeah.
mutated.
Smeagol.
For men or for humans, it would make them either
Corrupt with power,
Yeah,
hungry,
yeah.
fucking.
it would corrupt everybody. So like
Yeah.
if the ring was right here on the table, we'd be fighting for it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. You would fight until one person dies and then they're
And
like
my axe.
precious.
All right,
But yeah.
I'm ready to fish. I'm getting sleepy. I need to wind down. I think I'm gonna keep watching Supernatural unless there's anything new out today. They stopped. So the rookie's in its hiatus, like the mid-season finale.
Mm-hmm.
You don't watch Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, not anymore.
Because they're coming out with 3 new shows.
Okay.
Yeah, the show's over. Walking Dead's over. It ended amazingly, but it's expanding into a further universe. Daryl and fucking Negan are going off doing their own thing, or not together. Whatever. Maybe it's not together. I don't remember, but there's gonna be one with Negan, Daryl, and whatever. But I don't know when that'll come out. Probably in the fall of some year. What was I gonna say though? What was I gonna say? No, it's a shorter show. It's probably summer. I don't know. What's out right now? What's today? Today's Sunday. Well, fuck, nothing comes out on Sunday worth watching that I know of. Or Friday, because viewership is lower on Fridays than Sundays. Fuck, I might have nothing new to watch. That's too bad.
Yeah, they stopped making well, they're taking a break right now, but they had a show called Tulsa King.
What's that about?
It has Stallone in it,
Whoa,
and he's
that's a callback.
and he plays like a high-ranking gangster sort of thing. Like, well, not a high-ranking one, but he's got like a boss, and then he's right below him. But then he has to run his own gang or own group or own criminal something to make money, and to claim his territory or whatever. But he's been in prison he was put in prison because he wouldn't rat out his crime family. And so he spent all that time in prison and now he's back out, but he needs to make money. So he's a criminal He starts doing some stuff, and then in order to get back into it, he has to pay his boss a loyalty, but the boss doesn't really like him. And then shit goes crazy. But basically, he takes over this entire town of Tulsa and does a bunch of criminal stuff and has to, eventually has to fight uh, his boss's son because he takes over. And it's just like, yeah, it's a
So, do you watch? Have you seen? And I know I've asked you this before, but now I'm going to put them all together in one category because they do belong all in one category. There's 4 shows: Your Honor, Breaking Bad. Well, I guess then you can include Better Call Saul, so it's 5.
Better Call Saul.
So,
Breaking
Your
Bad.
Honor, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Ozark,
Yep.
and Banshee.
Yeah, part of it, but not all of it.
Okay. Check out Your Honor. It's on season 2, and it's already shit's hitting the fan. And it's with Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. Those are all the same category of shows, if you understand the pattern. Like, it's dark ass shit, but it's good.
Right.
Those are shows that honestly they're so fucking good. I will only be able to watch them one time because some of them are just too dark to rewatch. Like, of all those, the darkest easily Banshee. It will leave you feeling somewhat broken inside during most of the episodes, but the show is so good that it's like. And the main character, he's the main villain in The Boys. Oh, you should watch The Boys.
I watched it.
Oh, okay. So he's that Captain America wannabe, the jackass.
Right.
Same actor, but yeah.
All right.
All right, well, I'm gonna go fishing. All right, guys, this was Off the Clock with Ben and Anthony, and we're gonna go do shit. I might live stream some Russian fishing for, depending on if anyone wants me to. All right.